What's up, everyone? This is Bevan of Fanbolt. I am here with Count Crowley himself, David Dastmalchian. How you doing?
Hey, it's so good to see you. Oh my God, I wish we were getting to do this at a convention or in person, but next best thing, I'm doing all right. You know, it's a weird time. This is such a strange time to be a human being.
I
It's
know.
scary. It's isolating, obviously. I have an
Mm.
incredible family. I have two little kids and an amazing wife,
Oh,
and we have been doing our best to just fill the time, be as creative as possible, stay connected to people that we love as much as possible, and getting to do something like this is it's a real treat and an opportunity to talk about the fun and geeky things that I can and that I love. So it's really nice. Thanks.
yeah, of course. And you're hot off the panel right now. How was that experience for you doing the virtual panel?
It was great. Bernie ran a great panel. I got to have, for the Count Crowley people out there who are fans
Hmm.
of this comic that I created, I had our artist, Lukas Ketner, who's a genius, our colorist, Affe, who's amazing, my editor, Megan Walker from Dark Horse. And we just talked all things Crowley and horror, and it just went all over the place. And it was really neat because we were able to have people zoom in for their Q&A, like when you're at a con and people step to the mic. And then we also had people emailing in and, Facebooking, messaging, et cetera, all these different questions. So I felt like I got to connect with people in a way. And that's something I really miss about, I was really looking forward to right now was we're getting ready for the release of the trade paperback for Count Crowley for volume 1. And I was excited to go all over the country to different comic shops and conventions and connect with people. So it felt really good to my heart.
Oh, good. I mean, yeah, it's one of those interesting times where we're all missing being in the environment that is Comic-Con, but I'm finding like really unique things from doing this virtual expo and stuff. What do you think that virtual expos can bring to the table that regular cons can't right now?
Well, one thing was there's people that either can't travel to where there's a con or they can't afford to get to a con or for whatever
Hmm.
reason don't have the ability to get there. So as much as I love getting to go and walk the halls, and we will do it again at some point soon,
Right.
it's going to happen, but like, getting to make discoveries when you're walking the halls, getting to like go, oh my God, I didn't know so-and-so was going to be here, and getting to go do a signing, etc. I love that, but what the virtual con offers that no other con can is this ability for like me to be in a Zoom with, there was somebody in there, I think someone had called in from was in Pennsylvania, and another person had come zoomed in, I think from New York, and so it was really neat. It was
Yeah.
a great way to interact with folks, and who knows who's watching like this interview and the panel that we just did. I think it was broadcast. I mean, it was just running live online. So technically, someone in Tokyo could have been watching that panel.
Exactly. It's a really special kind of unique experience, especially with the coping mechanisms of, you were talking about mental health in your panel and stuff like that, and how important it is to be mindful of that in quarantine. Like I'm in New York, I'm in the heart epicenter right now of what's going on. And just, they talk every day about the mental health of people being forced to stay in their apartments at all times. So mental health is so important. So I appreciate you mentioning that. Oh, that stuff. But the next question I want to ask, you mentioned with your family that you were trying to stay creative and stuff. Has this environment inspired you to start creating a new character that might belong in a comic book one day, like Count Crowley?
I have come up with some cool ideas since I've been in shelter in place for sure, and so much of the storytelling and imagination work that I do throughout the day, be it focused on work or even just laying
Hmm.
around and daydreaming, always leads me back to Jerry and Count Crowley and the world that I want to continue to create. Obviously,
Hmm.
if our trade paperback does well, if these first 4 issues seem to have connected with audiences, then hopefully we will get to make more of those at some point. But another thing that's been a blessing, you try and find all the blessings, all the silver linings, all the things
Yeah.
that are hiding amongst this crazy time that we're living in. One of them is this time that I now have, because normally I'm having to run off to the next thing, or it's so easy for us all to get caught up in
Right.
our lives and to lose track of the goals that we're setting for ourselves. And I have several writing projects that were just starting to really get momentum right before this happened. So I am doing Zoom and Skype meetings with several different collaborators almost every weekday, and connecting with people. Like there's a guy who's a dear friend of mine who we've always wanted to creatively collaborate on something, and we haven't had the time to make that
Oh,
happen. So
good.
now we've set a weekly Zoom call together, and we're working on that. And in fact, another friend of mine, Reese Wakefield, who you interviewed when we were doing the Reprisal
Yeah.
promotion at New York Comic Con last year, Reese and I came up with a really cool idea for a TV series that we meet pretty regularly on Skype, and we've been putting together. So there's that. Nothing replaces getting to go to a coffee shop with your friend and work on something,
Right.
or have a great meeting, and then let's go to a movie afterwards. But for the time being, as we're trying to help, scientists in our society get ahead of this crazy thing, we're trying to make the most of every day here.
I agree. Do you think any of these projects that you're working on, could they possibly be animated? Because I feel like animation is going to have a moment right now.
Animation is having. For my friends who work in animation, they're in overdrive right now because all the work
Mm-hmm.
can be done from the
Home.
illustrators and the designers and the post people and the voice people's homes. So I have a couple of things that would fit into the animation space, and let's see
Uh-huh.
what I can make happen. We'll see.
I'm going to cross fingers for that because I think you do really well in animation. I think you've done
Thank you.
animation, right?
Thank you. I've done some VO. I just actually did the VO for Marvel's What If, which is going to be coming to Disney Plus next summer, and that was
Yep, I'm
really
excited for
fun.
that. Yeah.
Very fun. I have a top secret animation
Ooh.
project that I worked on, which
Ooh.
I think we were going to announce at San Diego. I don't know now when they're going to announce it, but when I do, or when we do, I can't wait to talk to you about it, because that was a dream come true. And for people who are
Ah.
like, I've gotten to work in so many cool comic book properties and genre properties. This was one that I never saw coming, and it kind of came out of the blue when the producer and the director and the producers reached out to me to see if I was interested in portraying this particular character through voice acting, and I was like, yes.
I can't wait. I wish you could tell me right now because I'm so excited, but I understand. Look, we'll have to just have a follow-up chat about that.
Yes, we
I'll just
will. It's going to be amazing.
Oh man, I'm going to sidebar that for another time. Speaking though of the pandemic, I've been asking some of the comic book creators, like, which superhero right now would probably be the most unique and compelling to actually put in the shelter-in-place environment and tell a story about what that superhero is doing in that time. Do you have any thoughts?
Oh man, there's going to be so many good ones. I would love to see like the Fantastic Four as a team stuck, together, driving each other crazy, but also trying to solve the problem. That would be really, really fun. Man, I would love to see maybe like an indie, more, like a less commercial version of a Howard the Duck story where Howard's stuck inside and he's like, but I don't carry the virus because I'm a duck. And then you find out that like ducks actually can carry the virus. Oh boy, there's some good ones. I think teams for individuals, like solo characters, how cool would it be to see like, and I'm trying to think of like good human, characters. Well, we obviously know how much I love Scott Lang. I wonder how many times like Dr. Pym would try to shrink down and see if he could sneak out just so he could go and do something out in the real world.
Just take a walk. I mean, that's me. I mean, I sneak out to go to Central Park, which is really surreal because there's no tourism at all in New York right now. So it's just nothing but New Yorkers in Central Park, which is kind of a cool experience to see that. This will never happen again.
Yeah, it's such a weird time in history. We're all experiencing these things for the first time, and hopefully when they're over for the last time. But like I go for 3 walks a day with my kids where it's like you got these masks on and you're just walking around our neighborhood, but the whole perspective is so different. In Burbank, there's no cars on the street, and there's or if you go to the grocery store, the lines of people, it's scary for sure. And anybody out there if you feel like, you're lost or you're hopeless, or if you don't have people that you're living with, or especially those, because I relate to the addiction issues, because today is actually my 18th
happy birthday.
Thank you. Today's my 18th sobriety birthday. So if you're out there looking for a community through AA and NA, you can find links to Zoom meetings at the SAMHSA website, and you can just Google like online recovery, and there's lots of great resources. So I hope anybody who's struggling will reach out for help.
Yes, thank you for putting that in, and we'll put the information in afterwards for people to reach out. Really quick before we go, I didn't hear you talk about Dune or the Suicide Squad on the panel. Are you allowed to talk about those projects? Because they're completed, right? Nope, you're not.
I can tell you that this is funny. You said Dune. I did not put this here intentionally. I always have been collecting bubblegum cards since I was a kid. Like, here's some Star Wars. I've got Batman, Tim Burton's Batman. I've got Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, some old James Bond cards. But look at this.
Dune.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Great.
I know they just dropped a bunch of imagery for Dune about a week or two ago, and I'm sure everybody who saw that is as geeked out as I am and excited to see what Denis is concocting. The guy is, one of the greatest filmmakers of our time, of any time. I think he has the vision and the passion and the knowledge of the source material to make something that is going to flip people's lids. I think it's going to just, and it's going to be, timing wise, it comes out in December. So I'm excited because by then, hopefully we'll all be able to make a return to the big cinema and to see something on the big screen in a communal experience.
Exactly.
I'm really, really, I'm really excited, for, if there was ever a time that we all need to be transported to
another planet,
distant galaxies and other times and other places. I mean, the brilliance of the novel itself, Frank Herbert's book, is one of the greatest pieces of science fiction ever written, and it's a great piece of literature. So in the hands of Denis and what I saw in my experience working on it, there's just never been anything like it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I have to say, though, I was listening, and Bernie actually asked you the question that I asked you, I think the third time I interviewed you, about the fandom of, like, what other fandoms would you like to be involved with? And I believe we said Star Wars.
I would love to be a part of Star Wars. There's the Mandalorian series that's going on right now.
It's so good.
I am such a fan, and I'm so excited to hear that Taika's making a new movie. And yeah, of course. I mean, that goes without saying. I don't think anybody that is here. I think that I think he was asking me though, comic book. He said comic book. I think
he said fandom.
Oh, he did say fandom. Okay, I thought he said comic
fandom.
book. Okay, all right. So in fandom,
it's all good.
Yeah, it was just May the 4th, and I was going through my phone looking at all the dumb pictures I've gotten or that I've photoshopped of me as either Jedi or as a Sith, or it's what can I say? Speaking of.
Yeah, right. It's right there. That was my follow-up question: is would you be on the dark side, the light side, or I hear of gray Jedi? There's a gray Jedi thing that they might start bringing.
I mean, where do you guys think that I fit well in?
I mean, I think you would really enjoy being a Sith. I just think you would have a good time, and you have epic theme song music if you're part of the dark side. I just want to throw that out there.
Those themes are the best. They're so
I know,
good.
right?
So
right?
good.
And then, like, you get to wield a lightsaber. But would you be like Darth Maul and have like the dual lightsabers, or would you be good with just one? Or would you want 3?
I mean, the 3 would be really rad. I also love, how inventive, they've gotten to be. And I don't know, anyone who watches from the animated stuff that's been created, which is fantastic, which is just, there's so many good things. But I think when it comes to like lightsaber, like the traditional is always going to be my favorite. But I would love to see some like some form of, it's like a mace. So it's like something that you can,
that is so cool.
Yeah,
just
I think that would be really cool.
Just pitch that to Jon Favreau. It'll be fun.
I will. All right.
I think
I will. Hey, John, if you're watching, here's my pitch. Help me become a Sith Lord who has a really cool mace.
Mm-hmm.
My name can't be Mace because there's already been a Mace in that
Yeah.
world, but that's okay. We'll come up with something rad.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be awesome. Well, David, I would love to keep talking to you forever, but I have to release you back into the
Thank you.
quarantine.
It's been great to see you. I can't wait to see you again at a real in-person experience. But until then, this is so great, and
Yeah,
I really appreciate your support and interest in
of
the things
course.
that I'm doing. It means a
Yes.
lot.
David, real quick, give us a shout out of where we can find you so we can keep up to date on all
Yeah,
the things.
please. I'm just at Dastmalchian, my last name. So Dastmalchian on the old Instagram. There's a David Dastmalchian official page on Facebook, and Count Crowley now has a page on Facebook where you can find
Ew.
out how to get a free one of these. The first 50 people that get our trade paperback and post a picture of themselves or the book on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter will get a free one of these sent to them in the mail. It is Mother's Day. I don't know when this is going to be posted, but happy Mummy's Day. And
I see what you did there.
just take care of yourself. Stay safe, be healthy, stay as sane and serene as possible. And I'll see you guys on the other side of this crazy thing.
Well, thank you so much for being part of the virtual pop carpet. I am Bevan of Fembo. We'll see you guys later.